Hello and welcome to the results show of the FameLab Climate Change Communicators International Final. Earlier on in the week, we challenged 10 communicators from around the world to share 3 minutes of interesting science, all related to the topic of climate change. Since then, our judges have been deciding and our audience have been voting, and we're back for the results. Now, this is all part of the British Council's Climate Connection events, which are running up to COP26. And if you've not come across the British Council before, it's the UK's organisation that looks after cultural relations and educational opportunities. I want to introduce myself as well. I'm Jamie Gallagher, a science communicator from Glasgow, and that's where we are today. We're in Glasgow. And that's a particularly important city this year because it will be hosting COP26, the UN's International Climate Change Convention, and that'll be taking place in the buildings just behind me. So a particularly important year and place to discuss this topic. While Glasgow, my home city, will be playing host to world leaders, I'll be playing host to FameLab's Climate Change Communication International Final. And we are here with the results. So before we get to those, let's have a little recap on how the final went.
"10,000 such particles could fit just at the tip of your hair.
I have here a plastic made from fruit seeds, which is considered a waste to the juice industry. And here, a water with a petroleum spot.
This is the paper which we have made from jute. This is off-white in the color.
One small crack on your phone screen, it's not a big deal, right? But if we're not careful, one more fall and this piece of glass could become damaged beyond repair.
This uranium atom, which came to us from a dying star, has the power to save our planet.
Earthworm poop is not gross, but the one that you and I need the most.
Let's do it for our grandchildren and their grandchildren. Otherwise, after centuries, some animal species will tell a story that once upon a time there was human on this earth.
Modern technology can help to reduce the effect of the greenhouse, but it may not cover homes with the green grass.
The good thing about burning hydrogen is that you can replace fossil fuels, generating only water as waste. Hydrogen is not easy to get.
Vacuum cleaner that you use to suck in all the dust particles from your room, the direct air capture sucks in all the incoming air into a chamber through a fan.
So you were hopefully watching along at home, but also watching and grilling our contestants were our 3 judges. We're going to go over to the judges now to hear a little bit about what it's like to judge a FameLab science communication competition.
Well, I finished this day with a glow in my heart. There was such positivity in the presentation, such joy, and such talent overall that I was blown over by every presentation and by the quality of the work they did and the positive energy that they brought to this challenging subject.
I love the passion that shone through with all of the communicators, and I can see most of them, if not all of them, doing this for a living in the future. It was great.
One thing that was really striking was how calm and collected everyone appeared. I say appeared because I'm sure behind it they were really nervous, but it didn't show at all. They all seemed like they were totally at ease. And I think that's really important when you do these sorts of presentations, because it'll calm the audience too and helps people appreciate you as an authoritative and engaging voice.
Thank you, judges. I'm glad you had such a fantastic experience. And now your tough decision lies ahead. We are looking for 2 runners-up and 1 overall winner. I want to remind not only the judges, but the people watching at home of the criteria, the 3 C's of FameLab: content, clarity, and charisma. Content, is there a scientific message and is it accurate? Clarity, is it explained in a clear and understandable way? And charisma, are we drawn in? Do we want to know more? So judges, I will wish you well in your decision making, and we'll be back in a few minutes' time to hear your results. But before we find out what the judges have decided, we're going over to you, to the audience vote. People watching at home were given 24 hours to select their favourite FameLab talk. The votes have been coming in, and we are now ready to announce the audience winner of FameLab's Climate Change Communicators International Final. And the winner is Minh Anh. Congratulations. Fantastic work. I mean, fantastic work from all of the contestants, but that was really a standout presentation, so well done. In a moment, we are going to hear results from our judges, but before we do, let's just ask the judges how it went. How were the contestants? Were they impressed by the talks? What were they looking for? What did they find? Judges, what was it like judging FameLab?
JL, he has a lot of charisma. He's really, really good at communicating science and at being convincing with his arguments. I really, really liked him as a communicator, and I can see him being a communicator as a career.
Yeah, I thought he had really good careful use of hands. It was measured. It wasn't too much, but it was very carefully done.
And he grabbed you right from the start with the phone and the crack of the phone. You wondered where this was going. I think that was great that he just got your attention right from the start. With Aditi, I just loved her storytelling. I loved the way it started with cosmic scales and dying stars, and went down to her specific work and the power of nuclear, and her use of space and the use of her hands was fantastic.
Beautiful charisma. It's going to mean that people just warm to her and want to hear anything she's going to say.
I thought that it was quite brave of her to talk about what among lay people is quite a controversial topic.
She said she was the youngest, but you wouldn't necessarily have known that if she hadn't said it. I think she's going to go on to do great things for the world.
I'd love to sit down with her one day and learn more about her organization and the work she's doing within the local communities. Now, she's doing a great job. Arka, I thought he had a really good use of numbers. I liked the use, he gave us a lot of numbers. They were clear, and they had meaning.
And he did good. He used his little notebook as a prop, and I think that worked quite well. That also just warmed you to him as his little personal product of his passion as well. So I think that was very clever.
There was a point where he had a line about we're losing 7 billion trees, and I just thought that's a great line. I mean, he could even have started with that. It's the sort of thing that's going to people go, oh wow, and bring them in.
With Navjeet, just very charming, very charismatic. I liked the way that she actually led you into the story. For the first minute, I wasn't quite sure what exactly her main core message was going to be about. And then you go, oh, nanoparticles. I wasn't expecting that. I like that element of surprise.
So clear, and use of space was really, really brilliant. I thought really helped, using nothing more than, just what was in her room. Pallavi, so I thought her use of props was great. At one point I was thinking, well, maybe it's a bit overdone, but there was a point that she just used them with such charm. Like she almost sort of caught that ball, and she sort of kind of had this little flourish to the audience, which was so charming and engaging. I think she's got a future as a television presenter if she wants it. She's really, really good.
Yeah, Pallavi has pizzazz. That's what I'd say.
Definitely. And there was a dance as well. The whole thing was just like a beautiful 3-minute dance performance. I really enjoyed the whole performance. Mayur, again, great use of space. He again really used the space, used his hands, really conveyed his passion for the topic, but also just was able to use the space of the screen and the stage in a wonderful way. And he had a really wonderful backdrop as well, almost Zen-like.
I think he would make a great politician, and I mean that in a positive way. It's not a criticism. There were some really good and careful uses of rhetoric. Like there was a lovely line where he's saying, "My brothers and sisters," kind of clearly thinking about his audience and how he wants to bring them and want them to be on his side. And I think he has a real master of that. Danny. Danny took us on a great big journey all the way back from Darwin to the earthworms under our feet, and really made us care about earthworm poo. That's an achievement.
I love the comedy in there, a little satire. The "I speak for the worms" just made me chuckle in the middle of his presentation. He used that comedy very well.
He sold me on earthworms and on the importance of soil and climate change.
Emiliane. With Emiliane, I just love the fact that she did a science experiment live in her presentation. That could have gone wrong in so many ways. That's quite a very brave thing to do, and that worked really well.
I like the costume, and she was very clear in her presentation, and I thought she had a lot of flair.
I really like that she challenged herself to think about, she brought on some science. She was the only person to bring in some science, actually physically there so we can look at it and watch it happen. But she also was challenging herself to put it in the political context, and her message was actually political.
With Larissa, I like the use of expressions as well. There's a point that she almost like looked into the screen with sideways and was almost like sharing something confidential with you, the audience. So that was a very clever mannerism that she had there that I liked. And some of the props, I like the candle with a seal on it and the candle going out as a symbol of net zero and fossil fuel extinction.
Yeah, I noticed the sort of reaching into the screen a bit. I thought that was perfect. And it reflected something that I thought she did all the way through, which was really good, which had a really nice mixture of friendly and smiley and kind of relaxed, but also really serious. And that's a difficult thing to pull off, but I think she really managed that.
Fantastic. Thank you, judges. Such excellent comments all round. As the judges are saying, all 10 contestants have done phenomenally well. And also the journey that they've been on. Remember, they met just a short time ago. They got together, they had a 2-day masterclass in science communication training, and they've been able to produce these wonderful 3-minute pieces. So congratulations to each and every one of our contestants. Now, we do have to share our results with you, and we're going back to the judges to find out who is the winner. As I said, we are looking for 2 runners-up and 1 overall winner. The judges have been examining all 10 talks for content, clarity and charisma, and we are now ready to find out our winners. For our first runner-up, let's go over to Yadvinder.
Well, this first runner-up was a masterpiece of storytelling, moving from very cosmic scales down to very local scales, tackling a topic that was potentially controversial and difficult, but also covering some of the potential criticisms within the presentation. Wonderful use of space. It was almost like a classical Indian dance in the way the space was used, and all capped off with a beautiful smile. And the runner-up is Aditi from India.
Aditi, congratulations! A phenomenal talk. Congratulations on being our first runner-up. We're now going over to our other judge, Nadia, who's going to announce our second runner-up.
We really liked their use of props. We were convinced with their arguments. It was well built up. We really, really enjoyed this presentation. And our second runner-up it's Emiliane from Brazil.
Emiliane, congratulations, our second runner-up. Well done. Another brilliant presentation. Very well deserved. And now it is time to go to our third and final judge to find out who is the overall winner of FameLab's Climate Change Communicators International Final.
It was very hard. And the winner was someone who did a lot of things that a lot of other people did. They were very charismatic. They were very, very clear. They were funny and they were engaging. But what they did that made them really stand out was they got us all to be excited about earthworm poop. So the winner is Danny from Mexico. Well done, Danny.
Oh my God, thank you so much, guys. Such a huge honor. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Danny, congratulations, a phenomenal effort. You are the overall winner of FameLab's Climate Change Communicators International Final. Congratulations on an absolutely phenomenal presentation. The worms also appreciate your effort. Now that brings the competition to an end, but it's certainly not the end of the journey for our contestants. The British Council are going to continue to work with them, developing their skills, supporting these young science communicators, because they have clearly all done something phenomenal here. So well done to all of our contestants. I was blown away by your effort, and please, please, please continue sharing your important science messages because you are so skilled at it. Phenomenal effort. I want to say also thank you to our judges, because that was a tough decision. Thank you very much, judges, for your work. Also, thank you to the British Council and Cheltenham Science Festival who make all of this happen. And thank you to you at home for watching. And all that remains is for me to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for coming along to Glasgow, sunny Glasgow, which will shortly be inviting world leaders to come and discuss the important issues that our FameLab contestants have been sharing today. Thank you very much for having me as part of your FameLab competition. Thank you and goodbye.